One thing I always talk about or mention when I talk about trust accounting is a quote I heard from an ethics attorney, Erin Joyce. Erin Joyce is an ethics attorney right now. She has her own firm helping lawyers that get in trouble with the state bar, California State Bar. She used to work for the California State Bar for 18, 19 years as a prosecutor. So she knows trust accounting rules and regulations in and out. And she had a presentation at a seminar that I was at, and what she said was really powerful in my opinion. And if you're not gonna keep score, don't play the game. I like
Mm-hmm.
that statement, and that related to trust accounting. Simple. If you're not gonna keep track of your trust accounting, don't play the game. Just get out of it. Don't do it, because you will sooner or later you will get in trouble. And the last thing you want to do is to get in trouble with your state bar and their regulations. And how to do it? One major misconception with trust accounting is that if I keep track of my caseload, if I reconcile my cases, I know exactly how much money that I got for this case, how much I spent for this case, and the amount that was dispersed to the client, and the remaining amount is the law firm's portion, which is moved to the operating account. I'm fine. That's trust accounting. That is not trust accounting, by the way. That's a big misconception that many attorneys that I talk to think that they do the right thing. I keep track of all my cases, case by case, and I should be fine. Uh, Even though that's good practice, you should continue doing that. You should know how much you spend for your each of your clients' cases, and the amount that's remaining to be dispersed to your client and to your firm as earned income. That is still not trust accounting. Trust accounting is when you reconcile your trust account, the bank account, basically the IOLTA account, transaction by transaction. You need to know exactly every single dollar that comes into the trust account as a whole, not only per case by case, but the trust account as a whole. We know exactly the amount that comes into the trust account and each transaction going out from your trust account. And every month we need to reconcile the trust account to make sure it's matching to the penny. You can't be off. All right. So that's
Mm-hmm.
trust accounting. Keeping track of your cases is good practice, and you should continue doing that. But that alone is not enough to comply with state bar regulations regarding trust accounting reconciliation. All right, so keep that in mind. You must reconcile your trust bank account itself, right? That's very important. And you do that by transaction by transaction, reconciling each transaction, knowing what it is for, what it came in for, which case it came in for, which client it came in for, and what it went out for. And that itself, thereafter, once you reconcile your IOLTA account, a trust account, which is the same thing, you need to match that to your case by case reconciliation, which most lawyers are doing, because if you can't reconcile your cases, you don't even know how much you need to pay out to your clients or how much you earn. So majority of the law firms are doing that portion, but they're not doing the main trust account reconciliation. So you need to do both. Then you need to match the balances for those both to each other to make sure those matches. And thereafter, that needs to match your accounting records. So that's what's called a three-way reconciliation. Three-way reconciliation is when you reconcile your trust account, the bank account, to your case by case reconciliation for all your cases, adding up to the same amount that's sitting in your trust account in the bank. And those two have to thereafter match your accounting records. That's three-way reconciliation that's mandated by trust accounting rules for law firms to follow. So make sure you do that. Three-way reconciliation. A lot of firms are not doing the three-way
Emil, can I
reconciliations.
ask you though, we talked before about how lawyers are not accountants. And so in this scenario, when they're dealing with all of their caseloads and what have you, um, is this something that counsel can help them with?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is a good question, Jody. We do this day in, day out. It's we can do that with our eyes closed, and that's why Counsel was formed. Counsel was formed to help solo and small law firms to do what they do best, practicing law. Not to keep track of your trust accounting, not reconcile their books, not paying their employees, not looking at their financials or doing tax planning or preparing the tax returns. To do what they do best, which is practicing law.